Jamie Green from Advisor One, reporting from the Schwab Impact Show in San Francisco. And with me here today is Matt Brinker of United Capital. Matt, you are in charge of acquisitions for United Capital, and you just made an announcement about a big firm that we've added. I wonder if you could talk about Peak and the process of do advisors come to you to become part of your integrated platform, or do you go out to them?
Good question. It's a two-part answer where we are very proactive relative to the outreach in terms of communicating and trying to identify the ideal partner for when we open an anchor office. The thrust of what we're trying to accomplish is the ability to partner with individuals and firms that have three key alignments for us. And one, and the most significant, is the cultural match. Since our partner firms have such a degree of autonomy and control and input in the direction of where our firm is going, the cultural assessment has to be spot on. I think a lot of big organizations talk about culture, but we really don't have the option not to be right on culture. Second is a degree of business congruency in terms of how they see the wealth management landscape. As I think you know, we are an advice company focused on wealth counseling, and our 32 offices around the country have that bias of engaging with the client with a wealth counseling orientation.
And that wealth counseling means a holistic approach to an entire person's financial life, not simply doing the investments or even just simply doing a financial plan. But
they believe, and we believe philosophically, that the core value of the client advisor experience exists in the advice that the advisor is giving the client, and the money management component is becoming more and more commoditized and pricing pressure as technology and more innovation around that makes it more and more difficult to rationalize charging 125 basis points for a sophisticated asset allocation story. And thirdly, as a strategic acquirer of wealth counseling firms, we have to add value to the partner firms that we partner with. We need to be able to identify, and we have a proprietary process where we spend an immense amount of time and money understanding empirically, can we help these firms? Can we help them in either growing the business? Can we help them from an operational practice management component? And can we help from a operational efficiency to pricing? As I think we see, margin compression in this industry has been decreasing for the last 5 to 7 years. I think in 2000, margins peaked at 20%. They're now creeping down to 13%, and that's a function of the complexity of the business and the cost of operating. So we need to be able to identify, can we help this firm in those key areas?
And those firms have to see the benefit to them as well, is that right? I mean, so are some of these folks that you talk to are feeling that margin compression, they want perhaps to be paid for the kinds of services that they actually provide, like advice. But in order to do that, they have to be more efficient in order to accomplish that. Is that,
What you're talking about is the transition process that a lot of our firms go through. And the first step is creating capacity in the office, creating more time in the day, not only for the advisor, but arguably more importantly for the staff members, so they can enhance the client experience, enhance advice into the client advisor experience.
It's funny that you mentioned not just the advisor, but the staff, who often are the folks that are on the front lines and dealing with clients or dealing with the technology.
And from a practice management standpoint, our ability to come in and help staff members train and understand what their core competencies are relative to a specific job, career, and expertise. We see in so many of these firms where a staff member can be responsible for four things. And what happens invariably is that if that person goes away, the firm stops. And so if we're able to, with practice management and specific staff training, allow people to have, again, at the staff level, a degree of core competency where their focus is 1 to 2 things, they have a better career path and career training and career trajectory, but they also are less critical to the firm, which can have huge implications, as I mentioned, in the event something happens to them or they decide to relocate. We have seen time and time again where when a key person leaves, the firm can effectively stop.
You said you're very proactive in looking for these folks. Is your message resonating with these folks that you are reaching out to?
Very much so. And I think what we focus on is the independent broker-dealer channel, where effectively we are seeing advisors operating in the independent broker-dealer space acting like RIAs. So they effectively have they have dual complexities in their business, where they have to
compliance and otherwise,
the trading, the reporting, the rebalancing, all of the complexities that's required to operate a firm, whether it's in the RIA space or the independent broker-dealer space. And so as we continue to focus on the independent broker-dealer channel as where we can add an immense amount of value to their day-in, day-out operation, improve their profitability by reducing operating costs without the broker-dealer haircut, and provide for them the platform. We've spent an immense amount of time and energy building a full-service RIA that allows an independent advisor to get out of the minutia that is distracting from growing the business and developing new relationships, developing a marketing strategy, executing on a marketing strategy. And look, there's 40 hours, 50 hours in a given work week. And if it's spending 10 to 15% of that time doing although mission critical, but not enhancing the client experience or prospecting for new relationships or broadcasting the brand, it's not great time spent. And we try to solve for that.
I see. Well, thanks very much, Matt Brinker of United Capital.